Boom, episode 51 of the Short Convos podcast. Welcome, guys, with me as Miralai.
And JC, too fast for you, Warrior of Light Cashman.
Do you like the new look, Jay? I don't know if you can see this.
Yes, I do. I do. It's very. I saw it, and I very reminiscent of. It took me to the second of the prequel or the newer Star Wars. Can't even think of what it's called.
Okay.
The Last Jedi.
So I was actually basing it off of your favorite NFL team. I was going for that's the look I was going for, like the popping red and white.
I like it.
I thought you'd appreciate it.
I really like it.
Everyone who's on YouTube. Yeah, if you're not on YouTube, come see us on YouTube now because we've got a fresh new look. Yeah. We look fancy.
Fresh new and a fresh new look. Here, I've got a haircut. Where Has just lifted his hat for the non-visual people, and it looks like there's a lot still under there.
Yeah, I could do with another one. I went and got one, but then I didn't really get much taken off, and then I wish I just did in the first place. So, yeah.
Oh, you've actually had a haircut?
I went and got one, but I was like, I want to enjoy the long hair because I grew it so long. And then he cut some off, and I was like, yeah, that looks nice. And then 3 days later, it's like, what was the point? Might as well have just got a proper one. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and get my fade and all the rest of it done.
Get it done. I really enjoyed last week's episode, last week's convo, the top 50. I really, really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, that was good fun.
I've got a load of features ready though, actually, because we didn't do the features last week. I've got a load of features ready if you're ready for it. But I did want to ask you, actually, before that, keeping it all real and everything, you went to look at a property, didn't you? Business property this past week. And then, shared some thoughts on that. But then you said that you're not gone through with it. Was there a reason for that? In particular?
I sat down with a spreadsheet and I did all the maths. And I then, not only the maths of the money, but I did the maths of my time in terms of the amount of time that would need to be put into it. And I got to the end of it and I said, yes, it's viable. Yes, it's doable. But some big compromises are going to have to be made in terms of the product I offer is going to need to be watered down to an extent, not massively, but to an extent to facilitate the amount of people you need to get through the door to do it properly. And then secondly, it's like it's going to pull me in a way that I don't know if I want to be pulled, if you get what I mean. It's going to take a big part of who I am, and I don't know if I want to give that much of myself to one thing just yet.
Just yet? Oh, that's what I was going to say.
I think the big thing is it wasn't the right one. There was too much about it where I was like, the location's not perfect. The business rates are very high for what it is just because of its location. And I just thought, am I in a massive rush? Like, am I getting kicked out of anywhere in the next couple of months? Could I wait and have another look? Like, I've got a big thing of sometimes I see the first thing and I'm like, yeah, that's the one. You know, I'll go look at a car and I'm like, yep, that's the one. It's got everything I need. But like, I very rarely step back and go, you know what? There is no rush. Let's make this very important, very big decision sensibly and not rush into it. So yeah.
Oh, good on you.
I think it will happen. I do think, because I want it to happen. And I think the universe will conspire it if I conspire it. But I don't think this was the one. I don't think it was the one that was meant to be.
I didn't think you was, but I was just checking in to make sure you weren't wussing out on it. I didn't think or just settle in for what you've got, but because you're not seeing the green grass on the other side, kind of thing.
No. I've set myself a reminder on my phone once a month to go on all the listings and check them and ring a couple of these estate agents to stay just in the loop. And like, I reached out to the estate agent who showed me around it, and I said to him, I really appreciate you taking the time, and please keep me in consideration if anything similar to this comes up on the market. Because I'm not wussing out. The numbers didn't scare me; they just didn't make sense. And I think I can get better numbers, and that's all it was. So yeah, I
Good to
appreciate you
hear.
checking in on it. But
Good
no,
to hear.
I'm not wussed, I
you,
promise.
you say about kicking out. We are being kicked out, not because we're being naughty, but as in we have to leave our house in at the end of June, so like 2 months, and like we know the mortgage is going to take longer at the moment, so it is like
Panic mode.
Well, no, we had that. We've been through that.
Okay.
I'm just really fragile at the moment.
I
It's
know what you
like
mean. On
anything's going to
edge.
tip over. But yeah, when you've got 3 girls school to accommodate, and then all the shit that you accumulate over years and all of that, it's like, okay, we need this house like now. please, please.
Well, they
And it's
say
out of our
moving
control.
house is like the most stressful thing you do, right? In the
Yeah.
lifetime. Like it's up
Oh,
there, top 3.
that, and I don't know if it surpasses it because I don't want to experience, but divorce I've heard is
Oh yeah.
that and
Well, that's the
divorce.
ultimate moving house, isn't it? I
Yeah,
mean,
isn't it?
that's
Yeah,
moving
that's
house with some resentment baked into it and sadness. So
yeah,
that's even worse.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And on that note, we
Yeah.
top three. Top three. As I thought, I'd throw this out there a little bit because we've not done one of this, and usually we talk about food, don't we? In the top three. Top three cleaning products.
Oh, interesting choice.
Yeah, I was in the toilet the other day, just doing your business, and I don't know what it was I saw, and I thought, you know what, we've not explored that, but I'm going to
Yeah.
throw a twist on it. I'm going to go with my first one, jet wash. I love a jet wash. Have you got a jet wash, Az?
I love a jet wash. I
We're
think it's one of the coolest things you can own.
Yeah, so the context of the cleaning of that is obviously obvious, but what I particularly like is the pavement or the paving slabs or the when you clean those. The camper, our Casper camper's got a fiberglass roof, and it collates a lot of dirt. And the other day I was washing it, I accidentally went on the roof unintentionally, and it took a load of grime off. I was like, okay, pencil mode, and did it inch by inch. So yeah, cleaning products, putting it out there. My first one is that.
You've answered my question then as to whether or not we can include tools or if we're talking liquids, as in bleach, etc. Across the board.
It's across the board.
I am going to go with our Dyson handheld vacuum. So this is one of those wireless, looks like a gun. I think it's a V8. I don't know what they're called. But you'll never go back to a, drag along thingy vacuum that you got to plug in the wall after you've had one of these. It's like the convenience is just out of this world. And I look back every now and then I've had to borrow a proper vacuum because like we've had to clean something thoroughly. And it's like, it's a pain in the ass. I can't stand it. I don't know how anyone does it. So like, if you can get a wireless vacuum, do it. They're expensive. Like they're way overpriced for what they are, but I think they're worth it. I think they're worth the money. I like a wireless vacuum.
I love that. I really enjoy glass cleaner, especially again on the cars. I just enjoy that satisfaction of having clean glass. And because Bruce rides up front in the camper, his window is always snot-fest. Basically, it has all of his muzzle over it constantly. So there's actually a layer on the window. So when you get to clean that off, mirrors and all of that, I don't know what it is, but I find something really satisfactory with glass cleaner.
I don't think it's in my top 3, but I'm going to add the squidgy, that you use to get the nice lines. I don't think I'm going to count that in my 3, but I do enjoy one of those. That's a good cleaning product. My number 2 is going to have to, my number 2 is bleach. I like bleach, but cheap bleach, like 30p bleach, because bleach is bleach. I love it. It just, all these you can spend, if you want, £6 on a toilet cleaner. But I swear to God, there's no way it can do better than a 30p bleach from Lidl's. Because you just put it in and it just kills everything and cleans everything and makes anything you put it on white. So why you would spend anything more to get exactly the same or a lesser product, I don't understand. Like if you really need to clean something, bleach, surely.
It's the way.
Yeah, power. It's got power. I appreciate its power.
I've just forgotten my third one.
Uh-oh.
I didn't come back. It was in my. You
correct.
go for yours, and then I'll come back to it. It might stimulate me. I've forgotten my third one.
So my last one, I think, is going to be. I feel like I'm missing something that you got it back. Go on.
I'll go back. I'm going to class it as a clean product because it does clean at the end of the day. I love polishing shoes. Did I mention this the other week?
You've not mentioned it, but I am aware of it.
I really enjoy polishing shoes. There's something nostalgic about it. It wasn't like my dad did it all the time, but I can recall watching my dad polish shoes. And we should do it a little bit more than I do it. But on a Sunday, aim to do the girls' school shoes, or the bigger two get away wearing trainers now, so Poppy's school shoes. And if we were out camping recently, so all of the walking boots and everything else, they all got dirty, so it had to be cleaned. And I just really enjoyed applying it all. So I just like lighting the wax so that it all softens. And then I just find that very satisfactory polishing shoes.
I find that smell very very nice, I guess is the word. It's a great smell, fresh polish on a leather shoe especially. It's like it's good. My last one, number 3. Oh, I don't know if this counts, but I'm gonna go way off thing. I don't have one, but I've always wanted one. A leaf blower. I don't know if this counts.
Serious?
But
yeah. What do you want a leaf blower for, us?
So my garden has a mad amount of very large overhead trees. So come wintertime, my grass is to the point where if I left it, the grass would die. Like it gets covered that bad. So you have to rake the leaves, but it's quite a big garden. And I've just seen it in too many films where a guy just goes out and just goes and just clears it all in like 2 seconds. So I just like the idea of it rather than probably actually.
Don't you want a leaf blower, a leaf sucker rather than a leaf blower?
I didn't even know a leaf sucker was an option.
I don't know. This is my thing. That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh, I see.
You don't walk around the house and blow your Dyson, handheld Dyson
dust.
doesn't blow the dust and dirt away, does it?
No, but I've never heard of a leaf sucker.
Why don't you suck the leaf in?
I don't know. I have no idea why. If it's not a thing, no one steal it. Our idea. You heard it here first. Copyright, trademark. But I'm assuming there's a reason that they don't do them. I guess a wet leaf is a hard thing to suck up. Too many things go wrong.
Yeah. I reckon there's a setting. I reckon there's a setting on it.
Maybe. But there's something about mowing the lawn and clearing the grass and just looking at that. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that counts as cleaning, but for me, it looks very clean and I like it. Is it in? Yeah. Then there we go. Yeah.
You're a lawn man, are you?
I'm a lawn man. I like a good lawn. I like doing the lines. I don't know why. It's an OCD thing, but I enjoy the lines.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yes. Good top 3. That was different. I enjoyed that.
You bring anything to the table to the convo this week, Az?
I wanted to discuss tea because I know you enjoy tea.
Okay.
As in loose teas.
Yes.
And I've recently we've been doing a lot more loose tea and enjoying it. And I don't know if maybe let this be our recommendation because if we're doing our features.
Yeah.
If you were to recommend someone whose only experience of tea is a Tetley with milk and 2 sugars, where would you get them started? What would you say is the first investment or first thing to drink and try?
As a broad topic, I would just switch you to green tea. I don't actually enjoy your English tea. I've drunk it before, but if someone offers it to me, I won't. I'll say no thanks. I'm good. I'd rather not, and I would never order it. It just doesn't do it for me. But green tea, yes. Now we're talking. Now the tea bags, the ones that you can get, the Twines or whatever the make is, they're all right. But to get a loose green tea, and steep it the proper way and enjoy it the proper way, I find is a really satisfying experience. So I would go Jasmine Pearl. There's a few companies out there. Whittards do a good one. Exotic Teapot Company, they do a good one, which is Jasmine Pearl. They come as like little balls, and you only have to have like 6 or so in the pot. And then steep them for 2 minutes, 180 degrees, I think the water is. I can't remember, or is it 80 degrees? 180 seems a bit too much. 80 degrees.
Celsius, yeah.
Yeah. 80, 85 degrees, so 20 for 2 minutes. Then take the leaves out, like you should have a strain. You can quite often reuse them, so I usually steep mine twice. So the next day, just don't put them in the teapot overnight; they'll go mouldy. Just leave them out, in the cup or whatever to dry out. And just a nice teapot, tea set. I like a little tray because I've got a little jade dragon, tea dragon, and it's meant to be good luck to pour the tea first over the dragon before into the pot. Have I ever showed you the pea and Buddha?
I don't think you have. No.
So it's another lucky tea charm. It's we've got one at the dojo, so I can't remember which way around you do it now. You have to pour. Oh, what way is it? You have to pour hot water on him, and then submerge him in cold water, and then he sucks the cold water into his belly, and then you put him there, and then when you pour the hot water or the tea over him, he has a wee.
He has a wee.
So
I love it.
Yeah. So that would be my recommendation: a peeing Buddha with jasmine pearl tea.
Because it's a lot of it's about like the ceremony of making tea, isn't it? Like the process that gets you to drinking it. Because I see this a lot now with coffee, where people are starting to do the pour over. I don't know if you've ever seen a pour over coffee.
I know. Yeah,
but like they're lengthening the process now of making the beverage, and it becomes a bit of an event, and then you kind of appreciate what you're drinking a bit more. And that was my big question: is let's say you've got a tea bag of green tea and your loose tea with all the steps to get you there. Like, call your loose tea a 10. Where does the tea bag sit on that scale? Like, how far off is it?
If you're talking that tea bag in a standard mug as well, so we're not talking my nice
builder's
tea mug and
SpongeBob
nice
SquarePants mug.
Yeah, I wouldn't even bother.
Yeah, that different.
Yeah, that different. I'm not offended if someone, like, sometimes you go round someone's or something and or someone, they're like, oh, I know you like green tea, I've got you a green tea here. And they give it you in your SpongeBob thing. I don't spit it out or throw it on them. I'm not that mean, but I'd sooner not. I might next time. When someone does that, I'm going to say, nah, I'm all right, thanks. Yeah, so whatever number that is, a 4, because we've got it 4.
3 or a 4, it's pretty low.
It's not offensive, I'm not going to die from it, but yeah, like you?
I'm quite the opposite when it comes to tea. I'm not with a lot of things, but when it comes to tea, I drink almost anything. You make me a weak tea, a strong tea, overbrewed, underbrewed, too much milk, no milk at all, green, black, white. I just like tea. I get through a lot of tea. I drink a lot, but I haven't developed any, like, I haven't become a connoisseur of it. I don't have a palate for it.
So you don't have a recommendation then? That was for me, was it?
If I was going to make a recommendation, I would, as I always do, I'd say start slow with these things, because I think people get put off by trying to do the whole ceremony the first time round. So because green tea as well, here's my recommendation. If you're going to switch to green tea, don't just drink straight up green tea, because it's got a bit of an aftertaste and a bit of a smell. So start with it, like you said, with jasmine or with mint or with another flavor. And then you kind of can build a thing to then drink green tea, because the green tea as its own thing can be a bit, I don't know if the word is fishy, but there's something to it. I couldn't describe what it is. It's a little problem, but there's a smell and a taste that people might be put off by on its own. There we go. Tea.
But there's meant to be lots of medicinal values and health properties and
benefits.
things, isn't there? So
Antioxidants, I believe, is the
yes,
big one, isn't it?
all
Anti-cancer,
those things.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I think warm liquids is good for you. I don't know why. I've just always believed that
Okay.
consuming a gentle, warm liquid and things like, you know, like sitting in a hot spring, I just think they must be good for you. There's something about it where it feels good, therefore it must be good.
You've just taken this assumption, have you?
It's a complete
Based on
assumption.
nothing.
It's there's no scientific knowledge to back this up. I just know that when I drink tea, my tummy likes it. So I'm going to assume that that's a good thing.
Hot chocolate, that's good.
Hot chocolate is also good.
I'm gonna have
No
hot
complaints.
chocolate after this. Actually, it's the bump in the week, isn't it? Midweek when we film this, so I have hot chocolate after this.
I
My
will join
weekly
you on
treat.
that one. Good shout.
Staying
Good
with
shout.
the whole theme of you know, something you put in your mouth, I wanted to do our I wanted to do our food related topic on fake meat.
Oh God.
Is it fake meat? You know, the other week we did, you know, you're quite strong with your meat and your barbecue and your,
I am
you
pro
know,
meat.
everything else, pro meat. So fake meat, where do you sit as with fake meat, and where is it fake meat? Should it be meat shaped fake? It's like, yeah, if I no, go for it, and then I'll tell you my where I'm coming from with it.
So I've got a good experience with this because my wife is vegetarian / like moving towards vegan. And when we first got together, I was like very insistent that I'd never make her eat meat, but I was insistent on her having as good an experience as I would have eating a burger. So my whole thing was I'm going to make her a burger. I got upset, and sausages was another one. I got a bit obsessed with finding the closest thing. So I tried all of these, the Beyond Burger and all the rest of them. But what we discovered over time is where Anne has been vegetarian for so long, that's actually her worst nightmare. She doesn't want it to look like meat. She doesn't want it to taste like meat. She doesn't want it to have the texture of meat. She prefers a bean burger because there's no link back to it even being anything like a cow. And she prefers that. So I think for people who are long-term veggies or vegans, they tend to not like the idea of it or go for it. And when I look at it personally, I'm like, I don't like the idea of it. I'm like, if you want to eat meat so bad, eat meat. If you feel the need to do that, just go eat some real meat. But for people who are trying to convert, like me, if I ever wanted to convert, it would probably be the thing that would help me do it because it would satisfy certain cravings.
So is the burger, the title, the shape, the everything, is that a meat product? Is that a meat thing? So all the time you're putting a bean pate in that stack,
Yeah.
is it a fake meat?
No, not a bean burger. I don't think so.
No.
I think the ones that are made to look a little bit red or made to look brown, like if it's made to look or smell or taste like meat, then it's fake meat. If it's to take the place of what you would put between two buns and add a bit of salad, then it's not necessarily a fake meat, such as a bean burger.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's a distinction.
I messaged Lauren to find out what our she's not text back. I have to do a post with it. So Lauren, my other half, better half, has more recently chosen not to eat meat and like not to the experience, not for a lifetime like your other half has. And we have started getting these burgers. And I wouldn't say that they're trying to be fake meat, but they do look like a burger, as in a meat burger, but they're vegetarian. They might even be vegan, I'm not sure. And I will say, because the other day I had a burger and I had this, let's just call it a veggie burger, and I prefer now the veggie burger.
Interesting.
Like I ate them both, and that was one thing because we've chosen to start eating less meat. What with the whole David Attenborough thing and saving the planet and everything, and that's one thing I thought that I would always look forward to when we go out, and it's one thing I would miss the most is that real proper burger. But now I've been convinced that I've got a substitute. It's not even a substitute. I prefer it now
Yeah.
to the real one. So yeah, it had me thinking. At what point does it then not become, or what point is it fake meat? So Lauren yesterday, they had a Wagamama's, and she had a veggie rib. So I was like, "What? They, had a bit of plastic or something for the, bone
Oh,
or something." She said, "No, it was just the meat, but it was shaped like a rib."
yeah.
And I didn't try it, so I can't. And I didn't see it, so I can't comment on the quality. And I do really love Wagamama's food, so I'm not knocking Wagamama's, but just the concept of it made me think, oh, I want to have that convo with Az, because obviously you're pro meat, and then Ant's, as you said, vegetarian, possibly going vegan. And it just had me, a little bit puzzled
Yeah.
for a minute.
It doesn't sit right with me on a personal level, but if people are trying to go vegan and they've got good intentions behind it, such as the environment, and that helps them to choose a non-meat option over a meat option, then I'm fully in support of it. I I think that if that helps people, it helps people. My attitude to it is if you don't want to eat meat because you don't like the idea of eating a dead animal, then you shouldn't feel okay with eating something that looks like a dead animal, tastes like a dead animal, or resembles it in any way. Like a burger is
Mm.
different because a burger is a circle. It doesn't resemble an animal even when it is meat. It's a circle of mush, whether that's meat or something else. But the rib example, which is a really good one, it's like you're trying to resemble a part of an animal there and then resemble the texture and the taste and the flavor. And you're even calling it, I don't know if they're calling it a vegan rib, but like that for me is like a bit of a strange thing on a
Mm.
personal level. But I get why people would buy it and eat it. And if it helps them, then good stuff.
Years ago, I was vegetarian and we went around someone's house. I don't know if it was their cooking. It was my only experience of it. But corn,
Yeah.
I had a corn steak, and they were really happy because they knew I was vegetarian and they'd provided us something. But it was shit. It was
Yeah.
like terrible.
Yeah.
It was like eating a bit of cardboard. And yeah, so that then springs up. And now I wouldn't say I'm a vegetarian. I'm a free eater. If I choose to eat a real burger, I will eat a real burger. But I am now, like the other day, I had some pasta, and normally I'd cut some whatever salami or something like that into it and mix it all up. But I'm now just having pasta, just cheese, or just with veg, or not looking for a meat or even a fish now to throw in it, just through the choice of again, for the environment and what we've been led to believe and told and everything.
Yeah, and I guess that's a bit of a default setting for people, isn't it? Like you get your carb source and then you get your meats. You get your meat and your vegetables, or your meat and your pasta, or your meat and your rice. And I think if you're going to move that way, you have to kind of reprogram yourself to not feel the need to do that. But then there's just the whole thing of getting enough protein. It's something that, like, I'm always really aware of with Anne, is I'm always trying to make sure that even though she doesn't eat meat, that she is substituting the protein in one way or the
Yeah,
other, because I think that is important regardless of what you choose to eat.
yeah. But then, like this Sunday, we've got a Sunday roast planned, and we
Yeah,
will have a full pork crackling Sunday roast because we
yeah,
want the Sunday roast experience.
yeah.
But
I think
yeah,
guilt is a big issue with it, isn't it, for some people? I think some people
yeah,
really feel a pressure to, if they're gonna say we're not going to eat meat, then that's like a very hard line and it can't be crossed. And I think the idea of eating less meat and reducing the impact of the amount of meat that we produce and therefore waste is a really good thing for everyone to do. Like, I eat meat, but like, I have a real thing. I will never waste meat. No matter how full I am, I will force that down because I will not throw away an animal that's died for
Or
me
it gets
to eat
eaten
it.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets it like that. Meat is one of the things I just won't put in the bin. Like if it's gone off and it's bad, that will bother me more than anything else. You know, I can throw fruit away every now and then, but the fact that every now and then, you know, a fish or something goes bad in the fridge, that genuinely irritates me, because I don't think that's wasteful, and wasteful in a way that impacts the environment. And it's, you know, that animal's died for you to eat it. I think we should have a bit more respect for the things we're putting in our mouths, for sure.
Yes. Yeah. For sure. As can I call a rant this week?
Yeah, do it.
I want to call a rant this week, and it ties in with the garden. We're going full circle here. Cats, specifically cats. I'm a dog lover. I don't have an issue with cats. I just, you know, I'm pro dog. But cats shitting in your garden, I think it's out of order. Like, I imagine if Bruce went round your house and shat in your front garden. Like, you know, I'm a responsible dog owner, and whenever he does a turd, I pick it up. For some reason, he occasionally, I don't know why, he's been saving it up. Sometimes he has 2 drops on a walk, and I will go back out if I'm 1 bag short and pick it up. Because I just think it's the right thing to do. So why have you experienced? Do cats? Why are they allowed to shit in your garden?
I think size has a big part to do with it, right? Like a German
It's got nothing to do with it. It's just a fucking thing. Like, this is what tips me over the edge. Is it shat out of in front of our back door? So you opened the door and you stepped in it, and it's like it did it on purpose.
It's weird, right? Because cats in a litter box, they automatically know to cover it. Like, it's an instinct for them. Cover it up, smell it, that they can't smell it, and walk away. But that doesn't seem to happen outdoors. They seem to just do their business and leave it. And I don't know if it's part of a territory marking thing that they do it. Because for them, your garden is their garden. They don't see those borders, do they? So they just go wherever they want. Well, just eat the cat. It's simple.
Well, the last house, we were getting a real problem with it out the front, as in it was stinking, and it just really unpleasant. So I was considering stairs, but I talked myself out of stairs. The air rifle nearly came out with the scope, but I thought, you know, it is at the end of the day someone's probably treasured feline, you know, flea infested, whatever. So what worked well was toothpicks. So I intervals, no wider than your hand, stuck toothpicks upright all over the bed where it was shitting, and either it stood on one or one up its arse, and it didn't do it again.
It didn't go there anymore.
Yeah,
I've heard oranges. I've heard they really don't like orange.
Yeah, something else. What was it I put down? Oh yeah, it wasn't orange. There was something else that I heard, but no, it didn't work. But I don't know.
Cucumbers, because they think they're snakes. This is a famous trend. You put a cucumber behind the cat, it turns around, and its instincts kick off that it thinks it's a snake, and it jumps and flies away. There's like a whole I mean, if you ever get the time.
Case closed. Dogs win every time.
Well, there we go. I mean, I'm one of those weirdos that actually doesn't have a preference. I see the merit of both. And if I had the choice, I'd try and have one of each. I'd like a cat and a dog.
Lauren's,
is she a bit...
No, she's trying to bring that to the table a few times. Like, no, dog.
Oh, you're just like, no.
Dog eat it.
I like cats because they're selfish to an extent, and I enjoy it because it's like they just don't actually care about humans. There is no there's no true loyalty. There's no real love lost there. It's just you provide me with food, and in return, I'll occasionally let you stroke me, and we just know that this is a mutually beneficial thing. Whereas dogs, you know, there's just this loyalty and love and companionship that you can't match. But cats don't try to even match it. They don't want it. They wouldn't want it in the first place. They're very like, you just stay over there, mind your own business, leave me alone. So I like
I've got to just over my rant this week then, haven't I? The cat shit in the garden.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want a solution, and I don't know if there are too many of them anyway. Other than,
well,
I mean,
I noticed
you've got 2 dogs, so I don't know what more of a solution you need.
Well, I noticed the garden we're in at the moment has got a cat run. It was going under the fence and everything. So I blocked that run up and nearly get a shock when it got to the fence that it couldn't climb over. I haven't seen it back. We haven't actually had any poos in the garden since.
Oh, there you go. That easy fix.
Yeah.
Easy fix. Have we missed a feature?
Well, where are we? No. Everything is just to finish with a quote. Did you bring a quote ready?
I did have one ready. I've lost where I put it, but I did have a very nice quote.
Well, I get it. I didn't bring a quote. Being that this is a self-development, self-help and everything, I thought I'd bring a bit of a metaphor I read or saw the other day. And it was this quite inhumane study that they were doing back in the 50s. And they would get a rat and they put it in a glass of water, deep enough for it, to be submerged, and time how long it would take until it was going to drown, until it gave up. So they dropped the rat in there, they timed it, and after 2 minutes, the rat basically said enough is enough and went under the water. So they pulled it out so it didn't drown, let it dry off, and then did exactly the same experiment with the same rat again, dropped it back in, and it lasted for 60 hours. And the psychologist that was doing it said his findings of this was that the rat, on the first occasion, just had enough, just gave up. And on the second occasion, was hanging on to that thought that it was going to be saved. So that's why 2 minutes is a dramatic 60 hours. And the moral of the story is, I think at times we all don't know how close we are to being saved and how far and what we can endure to reach a goal or something that we want to.
That's a good one. I didn't know where you were going when we started drowning rats, but that came around real nicely. Well, I think I've got a quote that nicely encompasses some of what we've been talking about today. Like, this is one about having a rough day or having a rough week or having a rough year or just life being a bit rough in general. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, "Wow, what a ride."
Yeah, I love that quote.
Hunter S. Thompson, in case anyone was wondering.
Yeah, such a good quote, that one. Yeah. Good one to finish with. Definitely.
Kabloom.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for listening, guys. Do like and share. Do comment. I know we say it each week, but we would like it if you did it. It would be really kind of you. We want to reach more ears and keep the conversation going in the comments. So anything you want to hear us talk about or get our opinion on, let us know.
Put it out there. Peace out.
Peace.